Hello, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about manliness. How to get in touch with your inner masculinity. How to mentally transition yourself from a boy to a man. How to mature yourself. These are my personal opinions. I'm answering, the most asked question by boys and men in their 20s and 30s on Google: how to be a man, or how do you become a man? Uh, More information can be found at theartofmanliness.com. They are not sponsoring this video. I'm giving them a shout out because I really like their website. Not only do I really like their website, but they give you a lot of great advice, and they have a lot of stuff about life lessons and the wisdom of Winston Churchill. Go to their website. You'll see a lot of stuff there. They have a Art Manliness store where, online store where you could buy merchandise from there. It's a great website. They have a great YouTube channel. Subscribe to their YouTube channel and go to their website because honestly, they have a lot more experience than I do. But so the point of this video is that these are my own personal opinions on how to be a man, or how to become a man, how to mentally change yourself from a boy to a man. I have 5 tips for you and extra content at the end of the 5 tips. Tip number 1, find something you're passionate in or passionate about. A lot of men seem to have issue with finding something that they're passionate in or passionate about, and being passionate about something or pursuing a dream is one of the most masculine things you could do. The reason why is because women find it attractive, and it makes other men envious of you that have the same passion. So if you're a sports fanatic, maybe you want to, go to community college, get a degree in communications, and become a sports announcer. Or, go to a 4-year university and, get a degree in math, learn sports statistics, and get a degree in journalism and become, a sports writer. The point being is because if you're passionate about sports or whatever, you have to pursue your dream. Because once you pursue your dream, you're setting yourself a goal for you to accomplish, and women find it attractive and it makes men envious of you. Tip number 2, change your style. Looks aren't everything, but in some cases they are. If you just turned 18, congratulations. If you just turned 20, congratulations. If you're in your 20s and people still find you immature, there's a problem. And for those of you who just turned 20 and 18 or 19, listen to these tips because they're really important. Number 1, get a more mature clothing rack. Get rid of, those John Cena graphic tees or these, childish looking graphic tees. And I'll tell you why. Number 1, men don't dress up in graphic tees. There are certain designer graphic tees that men can wear, that men can sport. But the goal is, if you want to wear a graphic tee as a man, don't buy one that looks like something a teenager would wear. Buy one that looks vintage, that has a vintage logo on it, something that's Americana or retro, because that way you don't seem childish at all compared to, let's say, a Kermit the Frog shirt, graphic tee. Like a rugged designer vintage Pepsi Cola graphic tee versus a Kermit the Frog graphic tee. What t-shirt is going to be, a signal to people that you're mature? The designer vintage Pepsi Cola graphic t-shirt, because, it's showing a brand name that people work for. While the Muppets are fictional, characters. They're not real. They're not a company. They have no function in any-day life. So you want a more mature clothing rack. So that means, get rid of those like childish graphic tees, get more vintage graphic tees. Start getting button-downs, ties, maybe sports jackets, vest, pants. The reason why you want this stuff is because men look presentable. Men wear suits, men wear business casual stuff all the time. Even if you don't want to wear, a button down all the time, at least get a turtleneck. The reason why at least get a turtleneck is because it's a more mature shirt for a man to wear than, like I said, a childish graphic t-shirt or a graphic long sleeve shirt. A turtleneck is a more mature clothing choice, but it's more important to have the button downs and the ties and the pants and maybe the sports jackets and the vest, because a more mature clothing rack proves that you no longer wear stuff that make you look like a teenager. You want stuff that makes you look like a man. Tip number 3, have mature men's accessories. Necklaces, rings, watches. Necklaces, rings, watches. I'll repeat again. Necklaces, rings, watches. Maybe a gold carat bracelet if you want to, or a silver platinum bracelet if you want to. But keep it down to 3 things. Watches, necklaces, and rings. These 3 things, because a watch shows that your time is valuable. A ring, especially a pinky ring, is a great accessorizer. Shows that you have confidence in yourself. But also, not only that, rings have different meanings for each finger. And some men don't like to wear a pinky ring. That's fine. Some men wear their wedding ring. Some men wear a family crest on their index finger or thumb. Or some men like to wear a middle finger ring. Doesn't matter what type of ring you like to wear, but wear a ring that's a signature ring, something with your initials on it or your family crest, whatever, and wear that along with your style. And necklaces, because unlike, childish necklaces, a man's necklace is something that means something to him, that has a significant meaning. So it could be your Italian horn, or your St. Christopher medal, or a necklace that your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend got for you. A necklace that a man wears has a significant meaning to him. Same thing with a ring. It could be your significant other that got your favorite pinky ring, or your favorite type of, thumb ring, or your index finger ring, you name it. But accessories more specific: watches, necklaces, rings. Every now and then, a gold plated or a platinum silver bracelet. Other than that, those three things. Forget all those childish, friendship bracelets or those, snappy bracelets, because teenagers wear that stuff, not grown men. Tip number 4. I think one of the most important things in order to become a man mentally, I'm not going to say physically, because at this point you're physically a man, but mentally you're not. But in order to mentally transition yourself from a boy to a man is build up a library of books that aren't goosebumps. Build a library of books that are poetry, fiction, nonfiction, you name it. Hold on a sec, I'll give you an example. Here's the example that I'm talking about. Like, for example, grown men like to have long conversations with other men on politics or anything newsworthy. So, get yourself a copy of Aristotle Politics. I bought this for myself because I'm interested in politics, but also this is not something a teenage boy is interested in. Also, you see a lot of men who are into Broadway this day and age. Not just gay men anymore, but straight men too. I'm pansexual. I'm in the middle of the road of gay and straight. But here's the thing though. I like William Shakespeare. Most teenage boys are not into William Shakespeare. Why aren't they into William Shakespeare? Too boring, too long, too deep thinking. A real man thinks deep before making a decision in life. And poetry, like I said, Robert Frost. This is one of my books, but yeah, most boys and young men, or I should say young teenage, like older teenage boys, are not into poetry. Most teenage boys are not into poetry because it's too gooey, romantic, ill. Yeah, a lot of teenage boys still think with that immature mentality. But you want to build that type of library for yourself. Books that expand your vocabulary and expand your thoughts, expand your mind. So you have a better understanding about life. And that where you're more mentally mature than most people your age that still want to act like they're teenage boys. But you don't want to do that. You want to be a man. Finally, tip number 5. Have confidence in yourself and don't be afraid of who you are. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, gay, straight, copper skinned, you name it. Doesn't matter where you are or who you are or what country you're from. Doesn't matter what language you're hearing this in a different country. It doesn't matter what type of man you are. But what does matter is that when you have low self-confidence in yourself, low self-esteem, low anything, if you're not confident in yourself, if you don't like who you are, you gotta change some things about yourself then. But other than that a man has confidence in himself. A man isn't afraid to be who he is. A man isn't afraid to speak his mind. Because the reason why a man isn't afraid to be himself or speak his mind or isn't ashamed of himself is because he's fixed the things that he didn't like about himself and now he likes who he is. And that's what men do. Boys don't do that. Boys blend in, like chameleons. Men don't do that. Men stand out. So those are the 5 tips on how to be a man, but I have extra content for you. I know you probably heard growing facial hair makes you a man. No, it doesn't. Teenage boys can also grow facial hair, and guess what? They're still immature. But the point I'm making is that get this stigma out of your head that facial hair makes you a man. While it's true, it's one of the most masculine things you can grow, and while most other men feel uncomfortable growing out facial hair, look, it's fine to grow it out, but just know that facial hair doesn't make you a man. It doesn't mentally change you. It's a stigma that's been going around for centuries. It's a bullshit stigma. Like, let it escape your head. Don't even think about it. If you're not comfortable shaving, if you and you want to grow a beard, that's fine. If you're not comfortable growing a beard, you can still be a man without having facial hair. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys.